And we are live. What's going on, ladies and gentlemen? King Narakami 45 here. Thank you so much for joining the King's Game Podcast, episode 10. I honestly can't believe it's lasted 10 episodes, this shit show that we have going on right here. But today I am joined by a new friend of the channel, someone you might not have heard of, DavidCast JRPGs. How are you doing today, David? Introduce yourself.
Hey, what's up? Welcome. Thank you for having me on again, should I say. Should be fun. December 25th anniversary of Persona. Not gonna lie, I almost forgot.
Well,
Can you blame me, though?
Oh, yeah. Between, SMT5 and something we're going to be talking about here in a little bit, 13 Sentinels getting a port, it's kind of hard to stay focused on something that really under-delivered in its first month. But we'll get into it here in a little bit. Want to give some shout-outs right quick to everyone in the chat. Kara, how you doing? Mega Traffic Calm, how you doing? Halo Guy, 365, thank you all so much for joining. Coogan, Author Patrick D. Kaiser, Jay Shepard, Matthew, thank you all so much for joining. We're going to have a good time tonight. Coogan asked DavidCast, who's that guy?
I don't know. Some type of dumbass with actual expectations, maybe?
Oh, man, I should have totally put that on my fucking thumbnail, dude.
Dude, I'm spoiling something for you guys. Little surprise for you watching the show. December, I'm switching my Twitter profile picture to the dumbass with actual expectations again. Hashtag P25th. Let's go.
When that clock strikes midnight tomorrow night on December 1st, you better change that shit, bro.
It's gonna be up.
Yes, Nexo. Halo Guy, I know it's you, Nexo. That's just your name on here, so it's just like the first thing I go to. Joseph P., welcome. Thank you to the 15 concurrent viewers. So what we have planned for you all today, we actually have a few topics that I didn't even put in the description because I was a lazy fuck and didn't update my description yet. But we're going to be talking 13 Sentinels Switch port. Then we're going to go into Persona 25th anniversary. We're going to talk about September's announcements, which I'm sure we have a lot to say about that, David. And
oh, yeah.
We're also going to be talking about our predictions for the December announcement as well. Should be a fun show, and then afterwards we're going to be answering some stuff, and I'm actually going to have a few of my patrons that support me on this show. They're going to be live with us. That should be fun. If you want to subscribe to me on Patreon, become a member, support me, any bit helps. Link is in the description. And DavidCast JRPGs link is also in the description. But I'm sure if you're here, you're also subscribed to him. But Fall Wolf says, deep down, we're all dumbasses with actual expectations.
Hey.
Hey, Jay Shepard says, need more Kawakami. What do you think about that, David?
I mean, is he wrong?
He is not fucking wrong at all. Ooh! By the way, I do have, if you can't see, on the top right-hand side of the screen, Kawakami statue. I am raising money. It's a Kawakami statue charity fund. Since this thing is $240, whew, that's a lot for a statue. Any bit helps. I'm not paying that for myself because that's financially irresponsible. So if you want to donate, help the cause, there's a link down in the description. Bring that bar up to 100%. So, David, are you ready to get into the day's topics, man?
I am, man. I am. I think we'll have a lot to say.
Oh, definitely. Shout out Ren. Shout out Fall Wolf. Shout out Midnight Channel, Kuro, friend of the channel. Thanks for all joining us tonight. So, Coogan asks, King, I saw you are Shinobu simp. Yes, I am. I love Shinobu with all my heart. First topic we're going to get into. 13 Sentinels had its second anniversary stream yesterday. Atlas did their own stream. And kind of out of left field, I feel like, I don't know if you feel the same way, but they announced a port to the Nintendo Switch. 13 Sentinels is going to be on the Nintendo Switch this April. David, how do you feel about that, and did you expect that at all?
Well, I'm going to tell a little story while we're at it. I was asked prior to this reveal if I thought 13 Sentinels would be heading to Switch, and I said no. That was before we got the sales update, but the game did really well. Like, when I woke up, the first thing that I saw, as I told you before the stream, is your video. So I saw your video. You were the first one. 13 Sentinels is coming to Switch. I was like, wow. Huh. Mm-hmm. That's really strange. Do you really dump money into a game that kind of flopped. But then I went on Twitter and I saw 500,000 copies shipped worldwide for the game. And that's very good for this type of game. So then I was like, okay, that makes sense. So to answer your question, it surprised me at first, but after seeing 500K, I think that makes sense. And I think it has a solid shot of selling more copies now because it's 500K for this type of game on PlayStation 4. I think that's impressive. So I do think it's a good idea. It's a good move, and I'm here for it because 13 Sentinels is right up there next to Yakuza Like a Dragon as my game of the year for 2020. So very solid. Can't wait to replay it.
1,000%.
Plus, there's a physical copy.
Yes,
so that's a win.
That was confirmed today, actually, on Facebook of all things.
Yep.
And just a random comment, Atlas West messaged back that there will be a physical copy of the game, which is fucking fantastic because, I mean, that's going to look good to my other 2 copies of the game that I already have on PS4. Now,
Absolutely.
What gets me about this whole thing, and by the way, shout out to Ramen. Thank you so much for joining. Raging Oga, thank you so much. JCat, what's going on? Thank you so much for joining.
Shout outs.
The thing about this whole thing is that I'm kind of surprised that they did not announce a Steam port. What did you think about that? Because I thought that the next logical step would be, I thought if they ported the game, it would come to Steam and Switch at the exact same time. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, that kind of surprised me as well. The PS4 only version of the game was super weird, in my opinion, because through my whole 35 hours of gameplay for 13 Sentinels, I was like, man, this game screams Switch. When I was in the dialogue sections, the visual novel type of gameplay, I was like, this is a portable game. I could see why it was a Vita game at first, because for those of you who don't know, it was planned for Vita, but it was later canceled. Mm-hmm. So it felt like a portable game, but when I was in combat, it's an RTS combat system. RTS, that's PC. That's mouse and keyboard. So I was like, this game belongs on Switch and PC, not on PS4. So I'm glad. I think it's a good move. I'm not sure why it's not on PC. If I had to bet, I would say budget, maybe. Maybe was not that big of a budget for that on PC. But hey, I think Switch is the best choice in terms of trying to get more sales. So we'll see.
Friend of the channel, JCat, actually told me yesterday that she believes that if the Switch version does well, which I kind of agree with her logic right here, if it does well, sells enough copies, because I'm sure it's pretty, it won't cost that much to port this game over to Switch right now, because it kind of works like a Switch game. It was made for portable systems. It's not very graphic intensive, except in like later battles. There's a lot of visual effects happening, but nothing too bad. So it's low cost, and so I think if it sells well enough, they'll use that profit to port it over to PC. And that's what JCat said that might happen yesterday, which I could totally see. It just surprises me that they didn't do both at the same time. But again, this is kind of a niche kind of title at the exact same time. So, oh my gosh. V-Sips, of course, comes into the chat. David and Keen are coming, the big Mara homies. Throw me in the mix, and we are the big Marasketeers. Bruh. Oh my god. The Virgin Narakami and the Chad David.
Hey, shout outs Rodrigo.
Persona Forever, thank you so much. Rodrigo, thanks so much for joining the stream. But do you agree with that logic that JCat kind of presented, where if the Switch version sells well, we can expect a Steam port in the future?
I mean, she knows what's up, so I'm going to trust her opinion on this one. I think it really depends on what the Switch does for the game. Like, if it sells, like, I don't want to put numbers on it because it's hard to tell, but I get the logic. Like, let's say if it surpasses expectations, yeah, maybe we see it on Steam later. But if it just meets them or is just on the line of like doing good but not that great, I don't think we'll see it. But again, I don't have any reasons. It's just what I think. Random prediction.
So, speaking of expectations, I think it's a good segue to end this 13 Sentinels conversation, because it's something that just randomly came up yesterday. Expectations for 13 Sentinels on Switch. How do you think it will sell? Including Japan, here in the West, or you can separate those two. I want to know your predictions, David.
That's hard to tell. I think it's gonna do well in Japan at first for sure because Switch in Japan is like a perfect fit. So I think it's gonna do well. I honestly, I do we know the price for the West? It's probably gonna be like $50 or something.
We don't know yet. I don't think it's been. I wasn't able to check. I was going to call shitty ass GameStop to see if the pre-orders were available today, but I didn't hear. I wasn't able to because work was fucking insane today. But I haven't checked. They might be up, but as far as I know, we don't know the price yet.
Yeah. So
what do you think it's going to be? What do you think it's going to be? While
I
we're
think
on
it's going to be 50. If you look at I know it's not a direct comparison, but if you look at the price in Japan, it's like 9,000. Not 9,000. I think it's like
6,000 yen, something like that.
Mid 7,000 yen or something. So that's more or less $50 if you convert it. So I mean, I don't know. I think it's hard to tell. But if it's really 50, I think that's rough. I think that's rough for a direct port on Switch. But that's what they did for Nocturne
and Catherine,
which had a. That's what I was about to say. Which Nocturne had a little bit of work. Catherine had no work, and it flopped hardcore during its first week on Switch. 13 Sentinels is even more niche. So I don't expect big numbers, but since it's the Switch, I think it's gonna do like just a little under what it did on PS4 initially for 60.
But at the same time, it's like when they put it on PS4, you're also paying to make the entire game, do the voiceovers and everything, and ship out the product. Here, they're just porting it, so it's not as costly as just making the game at first. So hopefully, it's like low risk, big reward for Atlas, because I don't think expectations are going to be very high for this. So if it sells just as much as the PS4 copy, or if it sells 3/4 of the PS4 sales, I consider that a win.
Same. And I'm sure that's what they expect as well. I don't think it's going to top it because, again, if it's $50, it's a lot to ask for people who bought the game already. Now, for new players who just heard all of us screaming and saying how good it is, I think it's completely fair. It's a new game for you. It's $50 and it's so great, according to a lot of your favorite creators. So I think that's worth it. But for someone that bought the game on PS4 for 60, just a little over a year after the initial launch, 50 to replay this type of game on Switch, I think that's a lot.
Right.
I think that's a lot to ask for. So,
if it wasn't as good as we thought it was, like as good, I probably wouldn't buy it if I thought it's kind of mid, but
yeah, but it's not. It's freaking good.
Oh my god! I cannot stress this enough, guys. If you have a Nintendo Switch, I know 13 Sentinels is on sale for $20 right now on PS4, and if you don't have a Switch, it's the perfect time to pick it up. It's fucking amazing. But if you do have a Switch, just wait. Just wait until April. You will not regret it because this is going to be the best way to play the game. And David, you mentioned earlier about Catherine full body on Switch not selling well. Did we ever get numbers on that?
Oh, we did. It did like 7. Let me pull it up because I don't want to say what it almost didn't rank in the chart initially for its first week. So
maybe Atlas was just trying to get a feel of how the
it's sold 7,000 copies in its first week in Japan.
That's tough.
Yep. So it's like it sold 1,000 copies less than what it sold initially on Vita when Full Body was ported to Vita.
Which I'm still mad that we didn't get that port to this day.
So that's really, really rough. But then again, it's like such a late release. It's over a year after the initial release. It was $50. So that's why I think they're going to do the same thing for 13 Sentinels a year after the initial launch on PS4. And if they ask for 50, that's the same thing as Catherine, except 13 Sentinels even more niche. Right. So I can't expect big numbers. I can't.
Before we go on from 13 Sentinels, let's just gush about it for a second. Ryan in the chat, I'm sorry if I'm mispronouncing your name, says, I don't know, man. I don't like RTS type of games. David, do you like RTSs?
I never played a game with an RTS combat system before.
Yep, me too. The closest one I played to RTS is South Park: The Fractured Butthole.
I did play that as well. That was fine. But I mean, it's like, oh no, sorry. No. No. I played the first game.
Sick of
The
Truth.
first game was a regular turn-based, so
Sick
yeah.
of Truth. Great game. Great game.
Yeah. Yeah, that was decent. But I mean, yeah, it's super good, and I think you really shouldn't block yourself from playing the game because of the combat system, because it's not the focus of the game. Far from it. It's like 1/4 of the game, I would say.
Yeah, I was going to
maximum.
say 75% of it's the visual novel.
Yeah, exactly. And I talked with another content creator. I don't know if it was on the spoiler cast or if it was on my episode where we talked about 13 Sentinels. But I know some creators brought up, like, I didn't like the combat system. I put it on the lowest difficulty and I just rushed through the battles. And they experienced the game and they thought it was fantastic. So again, it's really not a focus. And if you don't like it, I think there's still some great things to be had with the game. But that's just my opinion.
Oh, yeah. David, I did the exact same thing. I put it on easy. I didn't give a shit about the combat. The combat went fast, and I got my story, because that's the thing that drew me in, was the story and the characters. That alone, for me, was worth $60, and we're not saying this because we're fucking Atlas Sims. If we didn't like the game, we tell you.
Well, yeah, absolutely. But I have a different opinion on it. I mean, I didn't have any experience with RTS combat systems before, and when I tried this one, I think it was kind of cool. I had fun with it, to be honest. I left it on normal. I think it was cool because there's one thing that they do in combat, and I know we don't want to spend too much time on this, but quickly, some of the characters, they react to a certain move that one of the characters do. So like there's specific dialogues that are written for the combat sequences, and it's not just the same generic garbage that they say very often. Sorry, I smashed the mic. It's really,
you can smash me later.
It's specific things that they say when you do a specific move with one of the characters. It's really well done. It's cool. It's really cool. And I would say if you dislike the combat system, it's still worth playing for the story and characters and world building and music alone.
Right.
For real.
Put it on easy. Really. The combat doesn't last more than like 5 minutes at a time. Incredible. Before we head on, I promise we're going to head on for this. I actually have one more question for you about this 13 Sentinels port. Because our friend Demi Crow in the chat says 13 Sentinels can't be 50, maybe 30. That's the most I'll pay for a Vita game, since this game is, I believe, the canceled Vita version. Which he has a good point. But if you were in charge of pricing this game, what do you think is a fair price point for 13 Sentinels? And it's kind of hard because how much we love the game. For us, I'm sure for me, it's worth $50 again.
Yeah. From which point of view? You mean from my point of view of a real Atlas fan who played the game already, or you mean the standard consumer? Or just the standard Atlas fan who didn't buy that game?
What, in your mind, is the fair price for someone who has not played the game?
For someone who has not played the game, $60 is good. It's worth it. Mm-hmm. It's a good game. I don't regret, and I feel like I got my money's worth with 60 on PS4. For someone who didn't play the game, go for it. Even if it's 60, that's worth it. The game is worth $60.
Shout out to Jay Shepard in the chat. With 25 viewers of everybody donated $5, we can get King to Kawakami. This man's snaking right here. Links in the description if you want to donate, guys. Just so you know. Let's see here. Let's move on. I think people have had enough of us spouting about 13 Sentinels. So
it's good.
Oh, it's fucking fantastic. So, unless you've been living under a rock, Persona 25th Anniversary is here. It's kind of fallen by the wayside recently, but I think it's still in the back of our minds. First off, I want to talk about what happened in September. So, in September, I think it was September, right? There was announcements that they did their first quote-unquote announcement for the Persona 25th Anniversary. And it consisted of, what was it, a concert that was specifically for Japan that did not even air. They didn't record it, from what I understand. And what else was there? The anime was going to be available in Japan. Everything kind of centered around Japan and the
sales
West. Yeah.
For games as well, digital sales.
And the West, their announcement was digital wallpapers. So, David.
Nothing feels like a celebration as much as wallpapers and icons. Let's go.
So, if you were to have to rate that as a 1 out of 10, what would you rate it?
In Japan, I'd say that's a 6.5, and in the West, that's a solid 0.5.
Yeah. It's just bad. But I kind of see what they were going for, kind of looking back now, because they want SMT5 to breathe. So they're not going to go with their dicks out and say, "Oh, Persona 6 is coming in a few months, guys." Oh my god, no, they wouldn't do that. That would pretty much kill the hype for SMT5, in my opinion. Do you think they were going the safe routes? And do you expect for them to go to the safe route in the future? And we're going to talk more about that. But do you think they kind of went with the safe route for the September announcement and they're saving everything for later? Or do you think we can expect pretty much more of the same?
Yeah. It's hard to tell, man. It's really hard to say because we're getting good announcements throughout the anniversary for sure. But I think, you know how we talked about 13 Sentinels ever since we began the stream? Mm-hmm. I think there's something here. I don't. Did you watch my latest? Oh yeah, you were on the video. Goddamn, I'm a dumbass. The video that we did on my channel, we went over all the possible announcements, and I said if they were to port a specific game, they're not going to do a shadow drop in December. That was possible for September. Doesn't make sense for December. So I think we're looking at a mid-February, late February, beginning of March release. But now they have 13 Sentinels at the early April. So I'm like, that would have to be like late January, beginning of February if they do something. So I think the most likely scenario is something a little bit smaller, but still a game release, but something small. What do you think?
It's hard to say because I don't want to get my expectations up because we were completely burned in September. But I kind of see why we were burned in the first place. Maybe they should have started the celebration in December, but I guess they kind of had to since Persona 1's 25th anniversary was in September. So, I mean, I want to say I expect a little more come December. And we're going to get into that here in a second. But I remember doing your live stream of the announcement and just yelling in the mic. I'm sure everyone's eardrums were fucking like dead afterwards. But that's just how I felt in the moment, man. But looking back at it now, it's like...
I was rough.
It's like it kind of makes sense looking back now. At least for Japan. I really hope that... Do you think they're going to focus this next announcement towards a Western audience? Or do you think it's going to be a little bit of both? Because it was obviously aimed for Japan in September.
Yeah, I don't think they're going to focus on us. I think that's too much to ask. But I think we can expect something cool for us as well. That's for sure. Now, when I say I expect something small, it's because I can't see a retail release getting announced in December for late January, early February. That doesn't make sense, in my opinion. So I think they could do, again, I know you're not gonna like what you're gonna hear, but I think they could do P4G. Just drop it late January, $20, PS4, Switch, Xbox, because it should be on Xbox as well. Grab that bag. So that's what I think they should do. Something small, something else, even smaller, but that would be more focused towards the West. So I'm not too sure. P3 on PC. That's something that they could do as well.
1,000%.
Not that I'd give a shit, but they.
we are known that David is a renowned P3 hater here, guys.
I'm joking. I'd be really happy for other people because that's long overdue.
Right.
But I mean, something small. You know, I'm sure you get what I'm saying. Persona 5 on PC and Switch, that would be a retail release. That's too big, in my opinion.
Right.
P4G dropped on stores, digital stores, PS4, Switch, that makes sense. P3 on Steam, that makes sense. I don't know. I know I went over all the other options. P3 remake, P1 remake, P1 and P2 duology ports. I went over all of that in my video. Those don't seem likely. They really don't. What do you think, though? I'm curious.
Let's go into our next conversation where I can discuss that. What we expect, our predictions for December to be. First off, hold on. H2DK. We're going to let you know our comedy dance for a second. Thank you so much for the donation. He donated $10 and he says, "It's my birthday. Cheers." Oh my god, another one. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. H2DK first off donated $10. He says, "It's my birthday. Cheers." Cheers to you, H2DK. I know you're probably traveling right now, but cheers to you, fellow patron of the fellow patron of the channel. Really appreciate you, man. Thank you all so much for you do to me. So let me take a drink right quick for H2DK.
Yes, sir. Shout out to H2DK, man. Longtime supporter on my part as well, so thank you very much.
JCat also donated $5 and says, this money is explicitly not for any Kawakami statues.
I really like how JCat is like, she's supervising us on Twitter. Like sometimes we're on a random thread and we're all horny and saying random garbage. And she's like, you guys need to calm your titties.
That's weird because I've never been horny one day in my life, David.
Yeah, right.
You know that.
Want to talk about what happened 2 minutes before the show?
I don't know what you're talking about, bro.
You want me to leak it?
Leak the nudes. Next topic is, by the way, shout out to the 31 concurrent viewers right now. Thank you all for joining tonight to this shit show. We're having fun here. Shit. This is a very professional podcast, ladies and gentlemen.
Right.
All professional here.
Yes, sir.
What are our predictions for December? Because David just asked me, what I expect. Yep. And I'm going to go for the tried and true dumbass with actual expectations. Oh my goodness, hold the fuck on. Oh my gosh, David, you're going to have to read this. Because Liam donated $10, and it's in French.
Yeah, I see it.
So, tell me what it says.
He asks, why don't you like P3?
Let's go ahead. Let's get into it.
Let's get into it?
Yeah.
I mean, first of all...
Real quick, if you had to give us the cliff notes.
I don't dislike the game. I just don't think it's as good as the other games in the series. But as a standalone game, as an RPG compared to other RPGs, it's decent. But I have issues with it. I think I need to give it some slack because it's the first game with that formula. So the calendar system and the social links. I think the idea is great, but I think it was poorly executed. So I think the calendar system in P3 is doing terrible things with the pacing. It drags on. It's rough. All the social links. I know they're early social links. That was the first game. But some of them, my God, like I want to skip the whole thing. It's so boring to go through. Now, Tartarus... all the tracks are coming back all over and over and over. And some of the tracks in the soundtrack are freaking great. But I don't need to hear baby, 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 for fucking 200 hours. Like, come on. And it's just so boring to the game didn't need to be that long. I don't want to explore Tartarus for 40 hours and it to look the same thing through the whole thing. It's it's rough. The cast of characters is great. It's some of the best in the series. Mm-hmm. Again, most of the music is great. There's a lot of good. Mitsuru's great. Aegis sucks ass. There's a lot of
Whoa. Hold the fuck on. You don't like Aegis?
I don't.
What the fuck is wrong with you?
Right next to Chie and Haru in the trash can.
Oh my God. All right, guys. This has been the King's Gang Podcast, episode 10. Goodbye. Get this man. Who invited this man to this podcast?
I guess she has more complexity than Haru that has none, but I mean that still doesn't make her a good character,
Oh my God, I will not accept this Haru slander on my show, sir. It is against the law.
That's it, Liam. C'est juste pas tant un bon jeu, moi dire là.
The fuck was that?
That's all I'll say.
Hey, you know what? Wee baguette.
Shout out to Coogan.
So I just want to say, before we move on for P3, I think I love P3. I love the characters. I think the story's very solid. I can see why people love it, because it was the first Neo Persona game, but I think it suffers from Neo Persona syndrome, as I like to call it. Very early, the first social links. I mean, it was truly the first time doing that kind of game for them. So, what did Kuga say? Mitsuru Supremacy, David spitting the Chie whack. Wow. What the fuck is this? Bruh.
Facts.
I'm about to play fucking Mass Destruction in the background just to fucking spite you.
No thanks.
Shout out to Jay, because Jay Shepard, I know, is a big P3 fan. He says, P3 changed my life, and I've honestly felt slightly let down by P4 and P5. That's fair.
That's fine. That's completely fine. Again, I'm saying I'm being hard on it, but it's It's not a bad game.
No,
It's just that when I
no.
put it next to P4 and
Right.
5, and especially 2, it's like, those games are doing everything but better, in my opinion. In my opinion.
Oh my gosh, shout out to Liam, another $5 donation. He says, this is for Kawakami, but also hashtag stop being horny. I love it. This is such a professional podcast.
Yes, sir.
I do love P3. I love the story. I actually like Lotus Juice.
I don't dislike Lotus Juice either.
I do see where people can get a little annoyed. Mass Destruction plays every 3 minutes. I mean, come on. I think it suffers because it was the first Neo Persona game. Honestly, I think that's what's holding it back. But P3 kind of built the foundation of what would become of the series. So we can't say it's a bad game objectively, because it's still a good game at heart. Especially, David, I don't know if you've seen the movies, but the movies are fantastic as well.
I didn't watch them.
You definitely need to watch the movies at some point. They're really good. But anyways, moving on to the December predictions, finally, after that getting a little sidetracked right there. I'm going for the tried and true dumbass with actual expectations. I think we could see, I'm not even saying a January release, I think that we could see a shadow drop of P4G just in time for the holidays at the end of December. David, what do you think?
I can't see it, man. I can't. I can't see it. I can see them dropping a game like this late December. I don't know if Atlas has ever done that before, but man, that feels like a really ballsy move. And
That's a stretch to you.
A little bit. I'd say even early January makes more sense to me.
Right.
For a shadow drop. But I think they can do. Here's P4G. It's finally coming to Switch and PS4. You've asked for it. It's coming late February. We're putting it on the shelves at stores. It's $30. That would be that's good. That would be one of the announcements that would excite me the most.
Right. But that is my prediction, though. I know there might be one or two smaller things here and there, especially since if they're going to keep up this trend. We don't know what's going to happen because they did it for the first time. That Persona Times video that they had back in September announcing everything. We could see a few, more things. Maybe some more merch and stuff. Maybe they finally drop the shipping on the Shop Atlas site.
Can we agree? Can we both agree that they're going to keep the same format? Persona Times, that's coming back for all the announcements.
Yeah, 1,000%.
I think that's like their Nintendo Direct, and they're going to keep that format. I like the format. I don't have an issue with it. Not at all. But there has to be excitement around them. And if they pull the same thing that they did in September, which is nothing, I think people are going to be disappointed. Honestly, I'll give them a pass again if they do it again. But for the next celebration, the next month, that's not going to work anymore. Because right now, the only reason why I would give them a pass is because it's December.
Right.
It's whack. It's a weird month for gaming. So
what would you say
so curious.
if there's nothing in December, which I don't know why they would do something in December to begin with if there was nothing, but would you say that they could do a January announcement?
No.
Not at all?
That's too early.
You think so?
They have to stretch it. I think that's too early. I think that's February.
Okay. That's very
fair.
fair.
I think we'll see something. I think we'll see something, man. I think so.
I think so too.
Like, what worth do they see in just showing us more deals and more garbage that doesn't impact people worldwide?
Persona 5 the animation has dropped down to $250 on Blu-ray.
Bruh. David hating on Haru is a certified
DD mouse moment.
Hey, Rodrigo, I think I saw you say some good things before. What happened, man?
DD mouse moment.
I saw some fun and some great messages before. Come on, DD mouse.
Can we make that a meme? A DD mouse.
We got another P3 fan in the chat, I assume.
Oh my gosh! Here we go. Another donation. Thank you so much, Demicrow Horny for Kawakami. Is Demicrow trying to act like a secret agent here or something? We know it's you, Demicrow. He says, I want Haru and Kawakami an industry baby music video, and I expect P4G for Switch, PS4, and Epic Game Store. He brings up a good point about the Epic Game Store, because it's only available on Steam. So, David, if you made a video on your predictions for December. I'll put that in the description later. Go check it out. And kind of, because your boy kind of makes a little appearance on it too.
Right.
You get to hear a little rant.
That's a light one as well.
That was so much fun recording.
Yeah.
David, so if you had to put your money on it, I'm not. Before I ask you what your prediction is for December, would you put your money? If you were a betting man, if we had a bet of a $20 eShop gift card, like we did back in the old days, would you put your money on this? That it's coming.
What happened? What happened to that gift card, by the way?
What did you spend it on?
SMT5 deals. That I played and beat in 2021, by the way.
Fuck you,
Where's
dude.
Team 2022 at?
Dude, it was like right there, 2022, dude.
Right.
Oh my gosh, we got some AEW references in the chat too. P4G is All Elite. December 2021, Yu Narakami is All Elite. Shout out AEW All Elite Wrestling. If you're listening to this, anybody from AEW, please let's get a sponsorship going. But David, if you were a betting man, would you put your money on P4G ports for December?
No.
Not at all.
Wouldn't. Again, it feels like the most likely scenario. Still doesn't feel like something that they would do. You know? Want to hear something crazy?
Do it.
And dumbass with actual expectations, you know, I think sometimes. And sometimes I have great ideas as a dumbass, you know? And I was like, okay, let's hear me out. That Persona Times format is thing, okay? As we said before, December 16th, a Thursday, they're gonna hold a Persona Times on that day, so December 16th. But on December 8th, they're gonna announce that we should tune into the Game Awards 2021, and P4G will shadow drop during the Game Awards. And they're gonna feature it in Persona Times along other sales and other garbage. So the Persona Times is still gonna be worthless, but they're still gonna say, "Hey, by the way, we dropped P4G on consoles during the Game Awards 2 weeks prior." That's something that they could do.
Mm-hmm.
You know
that seems like it makes sense, David. That's almost crazy enough to work.
Far. I wouldn't go that far, but I mean, I don't know. We'll have to wait and see. But something at the Game Awards would be a real surprise for me, because Atlas, I don't know why, I always feel like they could show something at the Game Awards, even though they never did. But I think the reason for that is because Joker was revealed to be coming to Smash at the Game Awards.
I think we were supposed to see P5S at the Game Awards last year.
I don't think so.
It just leaked before. Dude, they had Lynn Lynn there. Come on.
I know, but I don't think so. It would have stayed there. It would. They wouldn't say, "Oh, it leaked. It's not. We're not putting it at the Game Awards." No way. There's no way.
It was going to be at the Game Awards.
I agree that it makes sense. If it was planned, there was no reason for them to take it out, because it's still a ton of eyes on the trailer.
Maybe
I'm just saying. I'd put money on that. I know it made sense because it was all at the same time and Lynn and stuff. But I'm saying that's all a coincidence. 100%.
So
I'm confident on that one.
I want to know your official December prediction. I know you gave a video on like the best out of 10. Great video, by the way. Check it out. But I want to know what you think will happen this December.
That's the thing. Well, I think P4G, man. I think that's either P4G, PS4, or Switch. I have a feeling this is going to drop later, though. I don't have the shadow drop. I don't share that prediction with you necessarily. I did in September. I can't really see it in December. But I'd say that P4G, PS4, Switch, January, February, or P3 PC.
P3
Something
PC.
like that. Something dumb like that. I mean...
Do you want to know my thoughts on that? P3 on PC? Right there?
Yeah.
If you want to know my thoughts, I think it's still a little too early to do that because of SMT5 just releasing. Now, I'm not saying that it would hurt their sales or anything. Not at all. I'm just saying that a shadow drop of P4G on consoles, not that it wouldn't produce hype, but it wouldn't be as big as of a release as, oh my god, P3 is finally on other consoles.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying? It's finally on Steam.
No, I do. We need to remember the leak as well, right? P4G leaked to be coming to Steam 2 days prior to the reveal.
Right.
And P3 was in that leak as well. So it's ready to go.
It's there's no doubt it's ready to go. How hard can it be to... Not that we're saying it's easy to port games, guys, but come on.
Yeah. It's the Pikmin 4 of Atlas. It's just like Nintendo. They're sitting on Pikmin 4. They're just waiting for the right time. It's the same thing for P3 on Steam. And I thought that right time was this summer because they had nothing going on. So that's why I'm confused, and that's why I'm scared every time that I predict P3 on Steam. And to be honest, I really don't think that it's really likely in terms of what's going to happen. I really don't. Because I feel like they're going to focus on Japan again, and Japan and PC is like, eh.
Shout out to a fellow content creator, Katana Riku, in the chat. Thank you so much for joining. And thank you, everybody, for joining tonight. I know it's not updating on the main screen right there because it's stuck at 31 views for some ungodly reason, but we have over 30 people right now. So thank you all for joining. So, David, any final thoughts before we get into our questions about Persona's 25th anniversary? Any final thoughts about it? Are you ready to be let down, or are you ready to be excited for it?
I mean, I'm neutral on it, to be honest. I really am. I'm like, I want to be surprised, but I'm not. That's as weird as it feels to say. I'm not getting my expectations up this time. Kind of did in September, not this time. Plus, I have so much to play right now, man. I know you guys will. I hope you guys will tune in Thursday. Demon Appreciation Awards.
Oh, definitely.
I think that's going to be fun.
Definitely.
Both of us will stream that. And we'll talk about a lot of games, but I have so much to play. There's been so many good games this year that I'm like, even if there's nothing, I'm like, hey, it's cool. I have a lot of other things to say. I'm not hungry for games like I was last year at that time of the year.
So, before we go on to our question and answer section, because I do have some Patreon members that's going to join us live here on the show that's going to ask their question to us. I do want to say Demon Appreciation Game Awards this Thursday. You guys do not want to miss this shit.
No, you don't. Plus, you guys will participate as well, and we'll have you vote for certain categories.
Yes.
So I think it's going to be really fun, very interactive show. I think everyone's going to have a blast for sure. I know we will.
Oh yeah, that's going to be.
We had a blast preparing it, so
they have no idea what's coming for them.
Nope.
But let me go ahead and bring in our first guest right quick. Liam Omega is a supporter of the channel as well. Good friend of mine as well. Let's see if we can bring him on right quick. Apologize, guys, if there's a quick pause. But let's bring Liam into the fray right here. All right, Liam. There he is, the man himself, Liam Omega. How you doing today, man?
Hello, can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you. You can hear him, David?
What's up?
Hey, what's going on? Bonjour.
Oh my god.
Hey, bonjour. Stop the orni.
Are y'all gonna talk shit about me this entire time? Oh my god. Okay.
Yes, man. You're the only one.
Oh my god. Shout out to the Midnight Channel. Donated $3. Get that Kawakami figure, bro. I want P3 on stream. Let's go. On Steam. Let's go. Yes, we are that much closer to the Kawakami figure. We're getting there. The bar's slowly raising. But, Liam, thank you so much for joining us today. I really appreciate it. And I appreciate you being a friend of the channel and supporting me. So, I just want to ask, what question do you have for me and David tonight?
What question? Well, here's the thing. I don't have a question. I'm, at least not a serious question. Like, off the top of my head, why the hell are you always horny, King?
Oh my god!
Good one.
Oh my god, I have never once been horny in my life, Liam. Just so you know.
Yeah.
I've made this apparent on multiple occasions, sir.
Sure.
David can attest.
In other news, sure. In other news, Catholic priests make good babysitters.
Oh my god, bruh. Oh my god. Well, Liam, thanks for joining the show today. So Liam,
Good night, everybody.
any questions
Yes.
that you have for me,
I-
David, or you just wanted to come on here and just talk French, talk shit to me in French?
No, I actually do have a question. And if this has been answered in a previous stream or a previous video, I apologize.
No.
But soundtrack wise, which game has your favorite soundtrack? Just like overall.
And you're including the spinoffs as well?
Sure.
David, I want you to go first.
SMT5, man. SMT5 this year. Ryoto Kazuka, man,
He fucked it up. He fucked it up.
All the track slaps. Like the environments, the battle teams, the everything. The talk team, the level up team, they all slap. They're freaking hard. So yeah, dude, shout outs. Yeah, SMT5 easily.
Yeah.
And that says a lot because freaking Persona 5 Strikers.
Amazing
Last Judgment,
soundtrack.
like,
Amazing soundtrack.
there was a lot of good soundtracks this year. Nocturne, if you count it, the audio quality was great.
So Liam, you asked about this year, right?
What I asked about what?
You asked about the soundtracks from this year or just overall in the Persona SMT series?
Well, my question was specifically. Well, I didn't, even though I didn't mention it. My question was specifically like Persona and not this tier, just like overall.
You got the dumbass with the expectations over here.
Damn, sorry, man. That completely went over.
No, we all know that David's favorite's Persona 3.
No, it's not. It's not. I'd say
baby.
no. P5, but strong honorable mention to P4D. For real.
Yes.
I'm listening to the soundtrack right now. It's
just
crazy.
I feel you because my first Persona game just overall and Persona and SMT was P5, and the soundtrack absolutely blew me away, and it's actually inspired me. It's actually inspired my own writing. I've done compositions for both school and on my own time, and I've taken like inspiration from some of the songs from P5. Not so much P3 and P4 yet, but back in May or back last spring, I had to compose a score for a short silent film, and I had to do 4 different movements. And the last movement, I jacked the rhythm, just the rhythm from Last Surprise. Just that rhythm. I didn't steal the melody, but I stole the rhythm. And funnily enough, one of the players, when we recorded it live, it was a brass player. It was a trombone. He brought me over and was like, "Hey, this rhythm here." And I was like, "Yeah." It's like, "Oh shit, I'm getting sussed." And he was like, he didn't suss me out, but instead he was just like, "That's a fucking funky shit, man." I was like, "Oh, thank you. I wish I could take full credit." But
P5 is such a banger, man. P5 soundtrack, such a banger.
Pardon my ramble, but
Love it.
yeah, P5 is amazing. P3 is amazing. P4 is amazing. I'm talking soundtrack wise. There's you can't say there's a bad. Even like I'm going through Persona 2 right now, and even that has like nothing but 10 out of 10s.
Yeah.
Hey, David.
Persona 1
PSP is the best.
No, Persona 1 PS1. That's up there as well. That's almost as good as P5 in my opinion. If it had more tracks, man, all the tracks like the police station, man, they slap. All
that doesn't compare to School Days though, David.
School Days is a good one, but it's just the tracks don't feel like the teams and
I get what you're saying. I get what you're saying. Liam,
I do too.
Liam, thank you so much for joining us tonight. Thank you for your question.
Thank you for having me.
Of course, anytime, man.
Thank you.
And thank you for being a patron.
And, no problem. You guys have a good night.
Take
See
care,
you,
man.
Liam.
Take care.
All right, so next we are going to bring Dark Aloy, another patron of the channel as well. Let's get him in here. Hold on, guys. Technical difficulties. There's David. Isn't this great doing this live? Isn't this great doing this live, man?
Yeah. I mean,
Oh my gosh.
yeah.
H2DK. Before we bring on Dark Aloy, H2DK, another donation for $10. Liam was worth $10. Liam, thank you so much for joining us. Let's see if we can get Dark Aloy into this right quick. I'm sure we can. Pardon me, guys. I'm a bit of a boomer when it comes to this kind of...
You left the conversation too, by the way, the last one. Not me.
Shut the fuck up. Shut the fuck up, David. Hold on. Let me get Dark Aloy in here. Thank you all so much for joining the stream tonight, by the way. I really appreciate it. I hope you are all having a good time as I am, and hopefully David's having a good time too. Dark Aloy is on the stream. How you doing tonight, Dark Aloy?
Pretty good. How about yourself?
I'm good, man. Thank you so much for joining us tonight. I appreciate you being on the stream. I appreciate you being a patron as well. So I have to ask, what question do you have for me and David tonight?
Now, am I only allowed to ask one question, or I have a few that I could ask?
Shit, go ahead. Shit.
All right, so I think I've known you for a little over a year now at this point.
Mm-hmm.
You kind of started off pretty small. Beginning of the year, you kind of started up trying to get a little bit bigger of a content creator. Got a Discord channel built. Got your Patreon built as well. You know, you're kind of exploded from January to now. What do you think was the overall factor of how you've grown as a content creator from beginning of the year to the end?
Wow, I really wasn't expecting to get that deep of a question.
All three of mine are, so have fun.
Let's see here. I think the biggest thing, and I kind of said this in my Persona 4, What Makes Persona 4 So Special Part 2 video. I kind of went over that. I think that was the big point of me realizing that this is what I want to do, because I kind of made the first What Makes Persona 4 So Special video kind of just to do it. I kind of did it as like a 1,000 follower surprise on my Twitter. So that was fun, but tragedy struck my life that day, and my grandfather passed away the same day I released it. And I was thinking about not premiering the video at all, and I did anyways, because I was just like, it's done. Doesn't matter what's happened today. Let's just go ahead and release it. And there were a lot of people that showed up, and that did so much for my confidence, did so much for my mood at the time, because I was losing my grandpa was like losing my world almost. That's like losing my father, because I'm living in his house right now. That was the biggest thing that helped me gain my confidence to make this a success, because I talked to my girlfriend about it because I wasn't very into content creation until that, and so that was the deciding factor on this is what I want to do, and that really helped me boost the confidence. It's people like you, Adam, that have supported me for a long time. I remember all of you. I really appreciate that. So your support means a lot as well. I couldn't have done it without your support either, so I appreciate that. I hope that answered your question.
No, that's exactly what I was kind of wanting to hear. It was more in the you wanted to create something that was genuine to yourself, and a lot of people gravitated towards that, and that's where a lot of people really gravitate towards, is more just people being themselves and not being fake. So that was good to hear. I'm glad that we can all be there for you, because you definitely deserve it. And
thank you.
All the praises that you're getting on it.
I try to be genuine in everything I do. Everything that I do, I don't try to kiss ass, except I like to kiss David's ass every now and then. What's up, babe? But I try to make it all me. I don't try to put on a fake facade or anything. It's
fake persona.
Yes, put on my mask.
Yes. There you go.
Yes.
So, the the channel's grown bigger than probably what you imagine it would ever have done by the end of the year. What do you foresee the following year going to be? You know, we're almost at the end of the year. What do you think is going to drive you to the next milestone next year?
SMT5 has been.
Or do you have any plans to actually grow it further? Like anything coming up that you probably haven't announced, or anything that you think is going to bring more people to the channel, Discord, everything?
Stay tuned for the Demon Appreciation Game Awards, because I have a little bit of an announcement of a big video that I'm doing during that. I think it might be the biggest video on my channel. It might piss some people off. It might be a controversial opinion, but I'm genuinely me, and I'm not going to say that I love a game without saying all the flaws that it has as well.
Yeah, don't sugarcoat it.
Right.
It's not worth it.
Right.
You're saying
SMT5.
that we have the big world premieres at the awards?
Yeah, we got some premieres. Eat your heart out, Jeff Keighley. Eat your heart out.
I'm gonna have the sneakers on, the flashy sneakers.
SMT5 was very good to my channel. Getting a review code from Atlas for Nocturne and SMT5 helped me as well. So
that definitely had to be your big Gatorade hype moment for the year.
You have no idea. I remember, I think we could tell this story now. I remember me and David pretty much talk to each other on a daily basis because we always have ideas for each other, supporting each other and everything. And I remember when I got that review code for Atlas, I fucking texted him over and over, answer your fucking phone on Discord or something, answer your fucking phone. And I swear, I fucking screamed at him when I got on the call.
Certainly did.
My
girlfriend was like, "What the fuck's going on?" I was like, "SMT5's there." Open the car door and run upstairs, download the thing, let's go. Dude, it's 5 years of waiting.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
It was worth the 5 years of waiting.
Yeah.
Adam, you've played SMT5 a little bit too, right?
No, I own it. I haven't gotten around to it.
Backlog for now. Backlog.
Yeah. It's a Switch game, so I thought that's going to be one of the games once Baby comes around, because that's soon. That would be a good game to play where I can just kind of go anywhere and be anywhere. So that's kind of where I'm kind of just sitting and letting it simmer for a bit. That and new Pokemon's got me just in real hard.
Wait till you see what we have to say about the new Pokemon game during the Demon Appreciation Game Awards.
My copy comes in tomorrow.
You and knowing Pokemon, I can't imagine any of it's good.
I'm going to defend the thing. I'll be there.
I hope so. It's good.
Because you're a fucking simp, David.
No, I'm not. I think it's good for what it is.
Yeah, it's fun. It's fun. That's all you need.
Any other questions for us, Adam?
Last question, because I don't want to soak up the whole air.
You're good, man.
So, obviously, this is the 25th anniversary of Persona. We're obviously going to be getting an announcement. I am not anticipating anything decent being announced at all. What do you think is going to be Atlas's big win for next year? Do you think it's going to be new IP? Do you think it's going to be the port of the year? What do you think it's going to be?
David, I'll let you go first. If you have an answer.
I do. I have two, so that's why I'm thinking.
Well, I think both. You don't have to pick one.
Okay, let's do both. A P6 announcement.
There's no rules here.
Yeah, I mean, that's why I'm getting my.
No, this is a very professional podcast, guys.
P6 reveal. I think that's gonna make Atlas in the news. A lot of people are gonna talk Atlas because of that. Something minor, we're not gonna see the main character or gameplay or anything. It's gonna be, 6 chairs, another color, something like that.
It's gonna be the Metroid Prime 4.
Yeah.
Oh no!
Yeah, PNG file.
Not see it for a good 6 years.
Exactly. Yeah, something like that. Something like that will happen, and it will get Atlas in the news for sure. Project Refantasy will get a blowout of info, and that's going to surprise everyone. Because
are you sure about that? Are you sure about that, David?
I am.
We were supposed to get news on 2020 and 2021.
2019 as well.
So
yeah, we were also supposed to get big news in September, and
yeah, right. Yeah, but the promise for Refantasy,
the announcements they got.
Yeah, which is completely fair. That's the right thing to do. But I think 2021, it's going down for sure.
I'm kind of in the same boat as David here. They're going to rely on that P6 announcement to be their biggest thing. I'm not sure if they're going to have any big games like SMT5 was for Atlas here in 2021. I could definitely see them doing a lot of ports, hopefully. They've already started off with 13 Sentinels. I hopefully will see P4G and P3 at the very least come to at least Steam at some point. Well, P4G is already on Steam, but P3 on Steam, and hopefully we get P4G on consoles. I don't expect like a huge game release, but I expect the sales for the ports, if they do them, to be very... I would say it's going to like sell like P4G did on Steam. That did fucking blockbuster numbers.
Yeah, I can't imagine they had to do a lot of work to even get it on Steam at all.
No.
Yeah, it was like
it was done by an outside party.
A minimal cost to like a huge gain for them, and they got to be looking at what backlog can we throw here? What's the next thing that we can just do?
They're really going to be relying on P25 as their crutch.
I would say that again.
They're really going to be relying on Persona 25 as their crutch for 2022. But we also have the SMT, was it 30th anniversary coming up in 2022? It's going to be interesting to see how they kind of,
meld them together a little.
Right.
In some way.
Right.
Because the hype's more around Persona than it is SMT by far in the general mainstream.
Right.
I don't see P6 still until they put P5 somewhere else. I can totally see them just they gotta milk that thing as long as possible, and they easily could.
Oh yeah.
For how much hype there is on that thing, they could easily milk more money out of that. But once they announce P6, I think it's kind of game over for P5. I don't see anything else from there.
Game's not on Switch. It's not on PC. As long as
do you think it's ever going to come to Switch?
No, it has to. It has to. I can see it coming for sure, 100%. I think it will, but I think they can't put P5 to the side as long as this game is not on PC and Switch.
My only issue that I have with P5 on Switch is I think it could run it, but I think it's going to run similar to like maybe not as bad as the Grand Theft Auto trilogy, but I think it's going to. I don't think it's going to look at. That was the big thing on P5 was it looked pretty, it played great. This is going to be a downgrade, and I don't know if they ever want to do that unless Nintendo announces their 4K version one or something.
I mean, it's a PS3 turn-based RPG. It's capped at 30 frames. It's really slow. I honestly can't see it struggling if it's optimized properly. I think it...
Does it do well on PS3?
It does.
There's some frame pacing issues, some screen tearing, but look at Catherine. Catherine runs on the exact same engine as P5 does. Catherine was the catalyst for P5, and it runs on the same engine.
Even though it runs on the same engine, it's not doing the same thing, though.
Right, but to me, there's a lot more happening during those Catherine mazes. Like, there is a lot of shit happening there.
Yeah.
So I think it could run fine. It's going to obviously require some optimization. Rockstar definitely did not give a flying fuck about optimization when it came to releasing their game, or just any fucking thing. Atlas isn't going... I know we love Atlas, but they're not just going to treat Persona like, oh my god, we're going to AI upscale all this shit and release it out into the wild. They're going to make sure this shit works, at least.
Yeah.
At the very
least. I hope so, because for some reason Rockstar's got all the money and they can't do anything with it.
You'll hear more about that on the Demon Appreciation Game Awards on Thursday.
It's nominated on Academy.
Oh, it's definitely nominated for something.
Yep.
Adam, thank you so much for your time today, man. Appreciate you.
Thanks. Sorry it took so long. But I thought I had some pretty good questions and wanted to make sure I got them out if I could. So,
I love it, man.
Thanks for my time to shine. First time I've been on a podcast, so I'll take it.
Thanks, man. It's an honor. It's an honor.
Oh yeah. It's lovely, especially we've known each other for about a year now, and especially when you were small, and you've grown into a lot bigger channel. So
that's what my girlfriend says. Start out small and grow bigger.
Yeah, all the praise to you. Glad everything's going well. hopefully the next year goes pretty, even better. So
Appreciate that, man. Thank you.
catch you later.
See ya.
Hi, Byman.
Bye.
Thank you so much, Adam, for joining us. Cool guy. Very cool guy. Very chill. He obviously knows his stuff. But we got one more guest for us, Blade Wolf, who I am hoping to add, because I'm a fucking grandpa when it comes to this shit. I hope you all are enjoying the stream right now. I know I'm having a blast, and it's good to have some outside perspectives as well. But let me add Blade Wolf right quick. Blade Wolf. But, yeah. P5 on Switch could totally run well. There's Blade Wolf right now. Blade Wolf, how you doing today?
What's up?
Maybe having some technical issues there.
Hey, how's it going, guys?
Hey, Blade Wolf, there you are. Thank you for joining us tonight. I appreciate that, man. How you doing?
No.
So, thank you so much for joining tonight. Thank you so much for being patron of the channel. And I wanted to ask you, well, I guess you have the question for us. Before we get started right there, oh my god. Another donation from Liam, donated $3. He's a SMT5 is Persona 5 without the heart.
Yeah, sure is.
Obligatory reference right there. But Blade Wolf, what question did you have for us? Blade Wolf?
Can you hear me now?
Yes, we got you. We got you. This is the beauty of doing this live, ladies and gentlemen.
All right, I want to ask the experts of the Shin Megami Tensei universe and the spin-off, the little known series known as Persona.
Yeah, it's kind of known. I mean, a few people know it, yeah.
I've seen it in Smash Brothers, yeah.
When in the world do you think we will ever get Persona 1, 2, and 1 Innocent Sin? Persona 1, Persona 2 Innocent Sin, and Persona 2 Eternal Punishment on Switch.
David?
Oh, that's a tough one. Not anytime soon. They need to put at least 4 and 5 on it before, especially 5.
And that's sad to say, too. That's sad to say, too.
Overdue. Yeah, it really is. It's such a missed opportunity. So I think once we have 5 and 4, if it exceeds expectations, maybe. Honestly, I can't see it. I know I mentioned it in my video recently. I was like, man, I don't know, man. Those games, I think Atlas, I don't think they have the balls to bring those games back in current market. I hope they prove me wrong, though, because that would be freaking hype. I'll give you that. But, man, I can't see it. What about you, King?
I kind of agree with you. We were lucky to get those remasters back in, 2010, 2011, when we did.
Yep.
And even then, I know Eternal Punishment came to the West back in the PS1 era, but we still didn't get that PSP port back then. Mm-hmm. So it's kind of hard to say what kind of risks they're willing to take. Because as much as we all love the game, I think we can all agree that them doing anything with P1 and P2 is a bit of a risk.
It is.
I mean, I hate to say that. It's kind of like become the black sheep of the Persona series.
I mean, that's what I say. That's what I mean. I don't think Atlas have the balls. I don't think they have the balls to pull this. I don't think. The games, they don't have the calendar system. They don't have the social links. And whenever a fucking journalist talks about Neo Persona, that's the only things they talk about. So I don't know, man.
Before we move on, oh my god, another donation. Holy shit. Before we move on, Liam actually messaged me. His full message didn't appear on screen during the video. He wrote SMT5 as Persona 5. He said, what I wrote is Persona 5, SMT5 as Persona 5 without heart, sign nominated for Wrestling Sign of the Year. I think that's definitely up there. I think he would win for that. Don't you think, David?
Oh, yeah. Hopefully.
H2DK donated $3. Thank you so much. He says P1 and 2 as a day one launch title for Switch Pro in 2052.
Oh, damn.
Holy shit. Switch Pro ain't happening anytime soon. He's right, 2052. Yes. We can look forward to that P1 and P2 release. Oh my god, another donation. What the fuck is going on right now? Dark Aloy, who was just on the stream, donated $25. Holy shit. Love talking to fellow Kawakami subs. Yes, yes. Sorry to cut you off. Sorry to cut you off there, Blade Wolf. But I want to know your opinion as well. P1, P2. When do you think we'll see them?
Honestly, I ended up talking to a representative of Atlas recently, and from what they told me, from the conversation which I had with them, they really do not know their own content. I had to remind them of some of their old stuff, and it's kind of sad. I mean, their content is really good if you go back, especially with stuff like what they did in the beginning with Raido Kuzunoha.
Yep.
It would have been great having those kind of Devil Summoner games over here ported over to the Nintendo Switch. And even if you didn't think the Nintendo Switch hardware would be great, it would have been great for PC. But yeah, it's kind of hard when it comes to Atlas. You don't know how much we actually love that stuff. So
sorry, didn't mean to cut you off. They're the company that we're surprised that P4G did well on PC.
That's true.
That's always what you got to think about with them. It's like, I fully agree. Why don't they see that Raido makes sense on modern platform? They didn't think P4G would sell on PC. That's all I bring up again and again.
Which is fucking crazy.
It's crazy.
It's
crazy.
Not dissing anyone at Atlas, but if you were surprised by P4G's numbers releasing on a platform other than PS2 and Vita, you need to get your head straight. I mean, it was to be expected. Now, it sold like crazy. Did I think it would sell to the point of it breaking Steam records and everything? The jury's out for that one, but I knew it would sell extremely well. To paraphrase what I'm saying here. Blade Wolf, any more questions for us tonight?
What do you guys think of SMT9? I know this is a Persona stream or anything, but I really just want to get this out.
I do not have any experience with SMT9. David, do you?
Me neither. I just think it's the cool. You're a cool kid if you like SMT9, a part of the community. So that's the one thing that I know, and it's an Xbox exclusive for whatever reason. That's the other thing that I know. But yeah, never tried it myself either.
I think it'd be cool if they brought it to modern platforms, but that's not going to happen anytime soon.
There's never Nokalite too, so
we would get Digital Devil Saga, Raido, and SMT4 on Switch and modern platforms before they ever thought about SMT9. Because it sold like ass, didn't it?
Probably.
It really did.
Yeah, 1000%. I could have guessed that. Any other questions for us tonight, Blade Wolf?
So I don't know if you know this, but since you said you guys don't have any experience with SMT9, did you know that there was an MMO about Shin Megami Tensei back in the day?
Imagine.
And they had their So I just wanted to know, would you guys be interested if Atlas ever brought that back and we had an MMO for SMT, or even the Persona series? Most likely that's going to happen first.
I'd give it a shot for sure. I'd be interested. I was a fan of certain MMOs when I was younger, so I'd give it a shot 100%. Yeah.
And
I think it would have potential too.
And you say you're a fan of MMOs. You have been before. The only MMO I've ever played was RuneScape when I was 10 years old, trying to talk to women my age back then.
That game's goated, man. That's my most played video game of all time.
Dial-up internet for the win.
Yep.
I would definitely be interested, but I think it would end up like the current SMT mobile game for me. It has Sonic in it, so I don't give a fuck. But I think it would just end up like that, and it would be cool. Don't get me wrong. I'm sure a lot of people would enjoy it, but it's just not for me. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. So you think Atlas is right going with the single player room instead of actually trying to broaden out with that kind of aspect?
Single player instead of MMOs, you mean, Blade Wolf?
I was thinking about putting up putting up the MMOs on like maybe trying to make a side story of a, s- a spin-off games just like Devil Survivor
Mm-hmm.
and what was it, Double Kids? Yeah, I'm pretty sure it was Double Kids.
Demi
Demi
kids.
kids. Demi
Oh,
kids.
dang it, Demi Kids.
It
I was
happens.
close.
It's fine. A lot of people forget about that. Blade Wolf, you had some very good questions for us. I appreciate you coming on tonight. Thank you for being a supporter of the channel, man. It means a lot to me. Thank you so much for being here tonight.
Shout outs, man. Take care.
All right, so we are going to move on to our regular Q&A portion of this, kind of rapid fire kind of thing, because I know it is getting kind of late and we're old men. So we had a few questions on Twitter, right quick, and if you do want first dibs at questions next time during my podcast, make sure you check out my Patreon channel as well. Shout out to all the patrons that joined the stream. But let's go ahead and get into some questions that we got from Twitter right quick. I'm sorry if I pronounced this name wrong, but I'm just going to call him Zero. Zero says, since COVID is probably the reason we haven't gotten a super live concert, do you think they will use the Game Awards to announce a new game and the live stream to announce ports?
Not to announce a live stream, to announce sport. That's for sure. I did went over Persona Game Awards. I think it's possible. I think if it happens, it has to be P4G on Switch and PS4. That would be the only Persona announcement that I could see at the Game Awards. That, or if they do some type of new P5 spinoff, right. Strikers 2, something else, Arena, whatever. If they reveal a new P5 spinoff, that could be, I think, at the Game Awards as well. But I don't think that they're going to announce like later, not at the Game Awards.
They would announce it at the same time as Japan. Honestly, yeah. a port announcement at the Game Awards would make a lot more sense than a brand new game.
But can you see something else than P4G on Switch and PS4? I can't.
For December,
I really can't.
For December, no.
At the Game Awards, there's nothing else, in my opinion. That, or again, a new spinoff.
Not even DLC.
Something new.
Not even DLC.
No, DLC is not good enough. No. But if they were to say like, "Hey, we do Strikers 2," that would work. That would be good enough. Or some new spinoff, Persona 5 Kart or whatever. That'd be big enough.
So he also asks a second part to this question. And if we get Persona 5 Arena, would you like the gameplay to be like a Muso style like Strikers or like P4A? Let me go ahead and answer that by saying that I do not think Persona 5 Arena is happening. David actually put out a video about that, and I pretty much... now we're calling me sucking on David's dick. Yeah, motherfucker, I do all the time. But I
hope someone clipped that.
I mean, it's... Arc System Works is busy doing other shit right now. I'm sure Persona it's like low on their... Not to say Persona's not big, but it's kind of low on their list. So I think Strikers is our P5 Arena. David, similar thoughts?
Yep. I agree 100%. I don't think... No. Sorry. We're not... Nope. I'm sure on this one.
Yep.
Not happening.
JCat, friend of the channel, asks a great question. Will King Narukami be more disappointed with this announcement than the previous one? If yes...
No. No.
If yes,
it's no, because
it's
impossible. Okay. Well, no. Because I think in September we had expectations. And honestly, I'm going to speak for myself. I really don't have any. So if they pull the same shit, I'm just going to be like, it's Atlas. I'm not surprised. In September, I was like, man, it's their anniversary. They can't be so shitty to just not do anything. But they did. So that really surprised me. So,
well, they did shit for Japan, not us.
Yeah, but even that, it's like I was expecting a port. I was expecting a reveal, something. But nothing. So if that happens again, I'm going to be like, okay, I'm good for this time.
Right.
If that makes sense. What about you, though?
How could they go any lower?
What if they do the same thing?
What could be lower than digital wallpapers?
I don't know.
A ringtone?
A ringtone. That's rough. That's rough.
Persona 5 condoms.
Yeah. I mean, didn't they sell that on the Atlas store?
They
You had to
did!
pay, like,
Oh shit, I just remembered that!
$73 shipping for one condom.
Shit. I gotta break out the expensive shit for you, babe. You get the Joker condom. Persona 4 Ever. Got 2 more questions here. Persona 4 Ever, theirs is a 2-parter as well. They ask, I'm terrible at reading. I've been at work all day. I've had a shitty day, so sorry if I kind of stutter on my words. But in the moment that they do announce their upcoming projects, when do you guys think they will release them? Example, P5 Strikers 2 would be released around 2023. So I'm guessing, is he saying, like, do you expect a shadow drop of something, or do you expect an announcement of something? And I'm going to say shadow drop of P4G.
Mm-hmm.
At late December.
Yeah, that's what I can't agree on. I don't think, since it's December, I don't think they're going to do a shadow drop. I think it's really possible for them to announce support, but it's not going to be a shadow drop, in my opinion.
If P4G does come to consoles, can you see it being a physical release? I know you touched on that earlier, but
Kinda. If they go to they could do shadow drop at the Game Awards for P4G,
and say
but
like
not
a month later,
mid-December.
this is releasing physically.
Possibly, or they could just reveal it at the Game Awards and it drops retail mid-February.
So
And then a month and a half later, you have 13 Sentinels. So that's 2 good release back to back. You're not sure about the sales of 13 Sentinels, so you put up P4G retail. You're sure that this is going to do well because you're not going to get surprised the second time like a freaking dumbass. I think this.
We're just telling the truth, guys. We're just telling the truth.
Facts only.
They also had a second part to their question, which I don't know how we're going to really go through this without doing the 15-minute spiel. So we're going to keep it as quick as possible because this is getting late in World Men.
Sounds.
What would be your unexpected expectations for this late 25th Persona anniversary? And they said, for me, it would be from most unexpected to least unexpected. Persona Q Dancing, Persona 5, Royal Dancing, P1 and P2 remasters or remakes, Persona 6, PQ2 English dub. That's an interesting one.
Wow. Well, that could be PQ 1 and 2 HD, and 2 gets a dub.
I could see that happening at some point.
Yeah, me too.
Persona 6 and Persona 5 Arena. David, I think you already did a video on this. So I'll give my opinion.
Sounds good.
Because I want people to watch your video instead of listening to you right here. I think the unexpected thing would be for them to do something with Persona 1 and 2. Because I just don't see that happening. You know, you can release more art, and I think that's going to be the furthest that we get about P1 and P2. So
For at least a couple of years, yeah.
Most expected is P4G on consoles, but we're both dumbasses with expectations. So we actually have one more question before we go today. And it was Michael. Sorry if I mispronounced your name. Now that you have brought up Persona 6, do you think we'll get male or female protagonists for Persona 6? David?
Okay, this is going to be a little bit controversial. I don't really like when you can choose the gender of your main character in games. A recent example is Fire Emblem Three Houses. I think it's problematic with the memorability of the characters. I don't think Byleth is as memorable as Joker, and I think the gender change may be part of that. But I do, because of that opinion, I do want to say I hope they go with a female main character because that's long overdue, and we absolutely need female representation. So I hope P6 has no gender option, but I hope it's a female main character. That's just my opinion. I know it's controversial, and you're free to disagree 100%, but that's my take on it.
You bring up a good point. I think, other than a few things that P3P did with the female protagonist, with the Ken social link, that will never be discussed ever, because I think that's just a fucking abomination. I think it did a good job. Sorry, I've been drinking a little bit. I think it did a good job with separating her from the main P3 protagonist story. They changed it around a little bit. You got to see some other sides of some characters, but at the same time, it's like people see that
It
as
was
like the secondary
established
story.
before.
Yeah.
Yeah, Makoto was already established as a main character. If they released at the same time, Makoto wouldn't be as memorable as he is right now.
Right. That being said, I think they handled her well in P3P, but that was done years after the actual release. So you have time to come up with that shit. I would like to see a female protagonist in P6. I'd like to see a female protagonist in SMT6. I mean, doesn't matter
too.
to me. Female representation is great. It's just know what you're doing, because it's like the most recent one, Scarlet Nexus, to me. You can pick...
Same thing.
Yeah, I mean, you could pick male or female.
Zero memorability. That's like P5 Strikers type of memorability there.
Oh, come
Completely
on.
forgettable.
Oh, man. You like Persona 5 Strikers.
I did, but it's really unmemorable.
Oh, my God. Oh, my God.
But it was still fun.
The
Yeah,
soundtrack's a
it was-
banger.
Oh, the soundtrack's a banger. The gameplay's decent. The Haru's trash, and
Fuck you. Guys.
well, she went from hot trash to trash, so that's already good.
God. Dude, this is the best point to end this fucking podcast right here. Guys, make sure you stay tuned for the Demon Appreciation Awards show on David's channel Thursday. I will be his co-host. It's going to be a good time. You do not know what we have planned. Thank you all, guys, for joining. This has been episode 10 of the Keen's Game Podcast. I appreciate you all showing out tonight. I hope y'all have a good night. King out.
Bye.